Hello everyone and welcome back to Hellstorm Wargaming. Hope you're all having a fantastic day and welcome. It is Friday and we're having another chat video because people aren't watching battle reports, so they want more analysis, I guess. We'll see, we'll find out. But welcome, and today I want to start a new series, which, if the things carry on going the way they're going, it won't be a series for very long, where I analyse some of the tournament results that we've had during the past month around the UK, and maybe we'll dip into Europe as well, especially while there isn't a lot of events running. I'm getting desperate. I was like, yeah, I'll do a UK tournament analysis, and then it's like there's no tournament, so yeah, so we're just going to dip into the Europe as well, mostly Gibraltar, but we'll see. However, if you like this sort of content, then do let me know in the comments, and I'm going to be trying out loads of new stuff. Warhammer Premium, I've already seen this style of video, or this type of editing, but if you like this sort of graphics that are about to pop up on screen, and I'm going to be like moving around, and things are going to appear on the side, it's going to be like flying, let me know in the comments down below, and let me know what you think to it. So, without further ado, let's talk about some events that have happened over the past months, and which armies are doing well, and which armies are doing not so well. So I've taken probably what I've deemed the most important event of each weekend during September. Obviously, I know it's like the 9th of October now, but I was supposed to do it last week, but obviously I was busy with the Space Marine release, so here we are. It is Meta Friday. It was going to be Meta Sunday.
Will you shut up, man? Listen,
So I've taken an event from each week during September, so we've got 4 to go through. 2 of them in Gibraltar, 1 of them's in the UK, and 1 of them's in Sweden. So we're going to talk about the list, the person playing it, what they played against, what's good in the list, and essentially what they've been using and why it might be good. So at the beginning of September, there was an event in Gibraltar run by our boys over at SN Battle Reports. Absolute cuties, I love them. They held their first event in their new venue called Into the Breach, which is in Gibraltar. It's in their Gibraltar Warhammer Club. It was 16 players, as far as I'm aware, varied armies in a small gaming club, but you know, as the first event that I'm going to analyse, I thought I'd look at it over SN Battle Reports. So it's actually won by one of the SN team. It was won by Chris Shepherd. He was using Red Corsairs, and he played against Dark Angels, Night Lords, and Iron Hands. So Iron Hands was using Dreadnought spam. Obviously, this is all before the Codex, all before the update to all the FAQs that we had this week. So this is essentially last month's meta. This month's meta is going to be completely different. His list was made up of, again, Red Corsairs, so tanking a lot of command points, because they obviously get extra command points if you have 3 units of Chaos Space Marines, which he does in his first battalion. He has a Lord Discordant on Hellstalker with the Mark of Khorne and Talisman of Burning Blood, so it can advance and charge. He has a Sorcerer in there as well with Warp Time, so essentially cast Warp Time on anything, make it move again, etc. He's got 3 units of Chaos Space Marines with Las Cannon, Auto Cannons, and Las Cannons. He's then got 2 Hell Drakes with Mark of Slanesh. These are really good for shutting down units and just tagging stuff early game, so they can only shoot Hell Drakes, and sometimes they do actually kill stuff. Not very often, though. He's then got a second Lord Discordant. Again, it's Red Corsairs. He's got the Intoxicating Elixir and the Mark of Slanesh, so that can get warp timed. Intoxicated Elixir essentially busting the amount of attacks it can get. He's then got Forge Fiend with Hades Autocannon, so these guys have received a bit of a buff. They always lacked ballistic skill because they are base ballistic skill 4. In 8th edition, if they move, they were -1 to hit because of the heavy weapon rule, but now they ignore that, so essentially they're always hitting on 4s, which is really good. He's then got a Hellfall Leviathan Dreadnought with Hellflamers and 2 Siege Claws with Mark of Slanesh, so this is something else that is a prime example for warp timing, so it can move 16 inches and get a charge off on turn 1, which is quite good. He's then got 2 Obliterators with Mark of Slanesh, so they can deep strike and shoot twice, and then he's got a Venom Crawler as well. An interesting choice. I feel like this was just used because it's cool and it is like another toughness 7 body. Oh, he's past me, forgot to say that he's got a Mauler Fiend as well, and then I went on the Warhammer app to find the Mauler Fiend, and they've got the Mauler Fiend with a picture of a Forge Fiend, so I guess Games Workshop forgot themselves as well, so this ballista totally relies on a mass of toughness 6, toughness 7, everything with an invuln, just charging forwards, and then Obliterators at the back doing the heavy lifting. So well done to Chris, and it's a quite cool list. Pretty cool. So on the 12th of September, there was the Glasshammer Gaming RTT. This is a 16-man event held in the Glass House, which is in Telford, run by Glasshammer Gaming. Big shout out to those guys. They are absolute legends. So 16-man event won by Marcus Hinson using an absolute throwback list with Knights and AdMech, which is hilarious. He played against Death Guard and 2 variants of Iron Hands and defeated both of those. His list consisted of a Super Heavy detachment and a battalion. So in the Super Heavy, he had a Knight Castellan. This is House Tyrannis. So obviously get back up if something dies, and essentially relying on that probably for the Castellan. And then it's a Mechanicus detachment, so you can obviously get back up on like 1 wound and then act to full wound next phase, which is pretty good. So there's a Knight Castellan with Corv's Wrath, obviously the Super Plasma. And then he has Iron Bulwark for the 4+ invuln. gun, so he can use his CP to protect his 2 Crusaders if he needs to rotate Iron Shield, both with Gatling Cannon and Thermal Cannon, one of them having the Endless Fury relic, and then the other one having Fury of Mars, which is a better Thermal Cannon? Better Thermal Cannon. Yeah. And that one having Cold Eradication also. And then he's backed up with one Army Helverin with a Melter Gun, and then a battalion of Skitarii Vanguard. Essentially 2 Tech Priest Engineers, 2 units of Rangers with the Galvanic Rifles, and a unit of Vanguard with the Radium Carbine. So a proper classic list, a really, really classic list, but obviously the Knights doing all the heavy lifting, then the Skitarii Vanguard sat at the back, playing the mission, holding objectives, popping off a few shots here and there, but crazy list, crazy list to say it's still working in 9th edition. The weekend after that, there was a cool little GT called the Vikings Game GT, which is in Sweden. This was a 10-man event, and it's won by Johan Nicolaisen with Space Wolves, which is quite interesting. He defeated Expert Crafters and Masterful Shots Eldar. He also defeated AdMech and then Blood Angels with a quite fun list. So his list consisted of obviously Space Wolves being in a really strong position in the meta as of the time of playing. Now, not so much because they can't rely on what they relied on. But
don't hear you denying it! You trying to start trouble? Take that, Katsune! And one of these!
the list is made up of Ragnar Blackmane. He's then got a Wolf Priest with Canticle Hate, Jump Pack, Tail of the Wolf King and Lord of the Deeps, and also the Wolf Tail Talisman. He's then got multiple troops. He's got an Assault Intercessor unit, he's got Blood Claws, he's got some Intercessors, and then he's got 2 3-man units of Blade Guard Veterans, obviously a very cheap, very strong unit. He's got the Judicia with the Wolfenstone and Saga of the Hunter. He's then got a Relic Contemptor Las Cannon Dreadnought with the Cyclone missile launchers as well. Obviously, this unit is supremely undercosted for what it does. Move and Shoot, BS2, -4 Las Cannons turn 1, absolutely obliterates most vehicles turn 1. Usually makes his points back on the first turn and then starts laughing on the turn 2 and turn 3. After that, it's backed up by 10 Wolfen, 2 units of 5 with Thunderhammers, and then Frost Claws on the Wolfen Pack Leader, because I don't think the Wolfen Pack Leader can take Thunderhammers as well. Obviously, these have received a bit of a nerf since, but at the time, 3+ Invuln, 5+ Ignore damage, fight as they die, which is really good. So you charge something, hit something, you tend to not take much damage back because if you 3+ Invuln and you 5+ Disgusting Resilient, or you feel no pain, etc., that type of roll. And then if you do manage to kill them, they hit you back anyway with a bunch of attacks. He's then got 2 Stormfang Gunships, which I imagine are transporting the Wolfen, and then an Impulsor as well to transport probably one of the unit of Blade Guard Veterans. So pretty decent list, you know, lots of heavy combat, lots of vehicles as well, and some really good backline shooting. He defeated those few lists. Nothing too notable about any of the lists, nothing too exciting about those that he played against, but a really strong list, a heavy combat list. Obviously, Space Wolves in combat are absolutely horrific at the time of playing, and yeah, fair play to Johan. Really good list, really cool. And then finally, on the last weekend of September, we had another event by SM Battle Reports. This is a 28 or 26 man event. This was No Retreat 9, one of their highly commended tournament held on a boat, a 5-star hotel. I was only a little bit jealous not going this year. Been to the event myself, and it's really good. This type of event is a little bit different from the other ones because it's not essentially buy a ticket and go. You have to apply to the event, showing pictures of your nicely painted models, and if they're not quite nice as someone else's, then sorry bro, you're not going. But this was a 5-round 28-man event GT. This was on the 25th of September, and it was won by Fletcher Giles with Space Wolves once again. He defeated Orcs, Custodies, Blood Angels, Demons, and Death Guard. And I will say the Demons and Death Guard lists were very horrific. Death Guard containing a list with like 6 or 9 Myphitic Blight Haulers, and the Demons consisting of 3 Exalted Keeper of Secrets and a Lord of Change with the Impossible Robe. So actually quite a good list. So this list heavily relied on Wolfen and Wolf Guard once again. So the list was made up of a Wolf Lord with Jump Pack, essentially a Smash Lord with the Armour of Russ and Saga of the Wolf King. He then had a Wolfguard Battle Leader with Jump Pack and Storm Shield and Thunderhammer as well with the Talisman. And then he had Wolf Priest with a Jump Pack, a Power Fist, and Tail of the Wolf King and Lord of the Deep. He then had 3 units of stock Grey Hunters, essentially probably just to help play the mission. And then he had 3 5-man strong Wolf Guard with Storm Bolters and Storm Shields, and Jump Packs on all of them as well. So a lot of DACA, a lot of 3+ Invuln, and a very quick on the board, so they can deep strike on where they need to be and obviously move around the board quite quickly. So he had 3 units of those, and then he had 3 units of 6 Wolfen with 6 Thunderhammers and then Frostclaws on the leader. So a mass of 3+ Invulns with all those Storm Shields. And again, horrific in combat and plenty of DACA. No real anti-tank barring combat, but I mean, when you've got like a Wolf Lord, you've got like 18 Wolfen, I mean, Okay. The other thing you can shoot turn 1 probably is some Grey Hunters maybe, because the Wolf Guard and all the Wolfen could start in reserve, depending how he did it, because obviously you only can have half your army in reserve, but still, I mean, it's a pretty nasty list. Again, relying on that 3+ invuln, relying on that 5+ feel no pain, relying on that fight as they die. So quite interesting list from this month. I think with Space Wolves now receiving a bit of a nerf, losing the Talisman, losing the 3+ invuln, Wolfen obviously not being coarse and not benefiting from the rerolls, that's quite crucial. Is like all of the Wolfen and the Wolf Guard etc in these lists, they are getting rerolls from their Wolf Lords, their battle leaders etc, so rerolling 1s to hit, rerolling 1s to wound, obviously getting +1 to hit, so they're ignoring the heavy penalty for Thunderhammers, but Thunderhammers have taken a bit of a nerf, Space Wolves in general have received a bit of a nerf, and Wolfen especially have received a bit of a nerf. So I don't think these lists will run into next month. Obviously by the time October comes around for people actually playing events, the Space Marine Codex will be out, the Index will be in play, and all these units won't be really seen much anymore. But there you go, that was our super quick tournament analysis. What's doing well, what's doing bad. Space Wolves we're doing really well. Obviously Marcus smashing that. It's very good players, use a lot of different types of lists with the AdMech and Knights, which is really fun. And then obviously Red Corsairs, interesting. Obviously, events aren't running properly at the minute anyway, but I mean, it's interesting to see different lists doing really well. Obviously, we're in the early days of 9th edition, and it was this crazy when 8th edition started as well. Like, every other list was winning every other weekend, because people are still getting used to the mission formats, as people are still getting used to the way armies are changing. So, let me know what your thoughts are. Do you play any of these armies? Have you picked up any of these tricks that people are doing? Have you spotted something else that people are using these armies that aren't using, that you are like, that's quite good? Well, then let me know down in the comments. It'd be really good to hear what you guys think. And let me know what you thought to this type of video. I appreciate it. I talked really fast. I've had lots of coffee today, but I'm also trying to keep it quite short, so it's quite easy to digest. Let me know if you made it to the end, because I love you. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe if you can. We've got loads of other videos if you want to check those out as well. We've got loads of battle reports, etc., and lots of other meta analysis. And also, if you haven't already, become a member today. You get an extra video every single Wednesday, which is we do tournament analysis, we'll do list analysis, and we also do extra battle reports there as well. So you can do that today. Join tier 3 and get an extra video every single Wednesday. So guys, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed your coffee this morning, and hopefully I will catch you in the next one. Bye bye now.